What's up, pit crew? Welcome to the nation. Today we're dumping that Muffler Shop Special exhaust and we're putting on an Ark GRiP. So without much ado, let's get into it. All right, before we get into today's video, I want to take a quick second, ask you to hit that like and subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing, only takes half a second, and it really helps me out. Let's grow this nation. The bigger this nation gets, the more videos like this I can put out. So let's go ahead and get back to the video. All right, so you might be asking yourself, why are we changing the exhaust out? I already went through the expense of having a custom 2.5-inch exhaust made, so what gives? Well, there's a few things we need to touch on. So this Muffler Shop Special, it sounds a whole lot like the MBRP, which isn't a bad sounding exhaust per se, but I wanted something with a little deeper tone. That got me researching different crossovers and everything, because the exhaust that's on it now is a true dual. There's no crossover at all. Now in my research, what I found is that an H pipe will deepen the tone, but it's also going to quiet the exhaust down. This exhaust, it's at the noise level that I kind of want it to be. I don't want it any quieter, and I don't particularly want it any louder either. So I started looking at maybe X pipes, and that'll deepen it down a little bit, but not as much as the H pipes. And I came across a real interesting article and an episode actually of Engine Masters. Now in this episode, they were testing on a naturally aspirated V8, and what they found is that no crossovers produce the most horsepower, an H pipe produced the most torque, and an X pipe produced the most of both. So for a naturally aspirated V8, and in this case an LS is what they were testing it on, you really do want an X pipe. So that kind of opened my mind up a little bit more to going with a crossed over exhaust as opposed to sticking with a true dual, which I was a pretty firm believer on, and to a point I still kind of am. Because when it comes to the Pit Crew Skyline, we're talking about a turbocharged engine. So that kind of changes the game a little bit. With a turbocharged engine, you really do want the most efficient exhaust you can get. So the best bang for your buck is probably going to be along the lines of an MBRP exhaust, a 3-inch catback exhaust with no crossovers. But it may or may not sound the way you want it to. Going back, I wanted a deep, throaty growl. So I do need a crossover. I've gone on YouTube and I've listened to other YouTube videos for specifically what exhaust do I think I want to go with. And the one that I like the sound the most is the Ark GRiP. So that's what we're going to get into, and that's what we're going to install today. So give me a second to get this car jacked up and we'll get to it. When you're doing a job like this, crud is gonna fall in your eyes. If you have clear eye protection, this would be the time to put it on, but I don't. So you get to hear me cry like a little girl when I get nasty in my eyes. So in case you're wondering, and I guess I should have said earlier, these nuts and bolts 14 millimeter. So next, we're going to take this support bracket off. It is smaller than a 14 millimeter, maybe a 13. That's what I'm thinking right now. So I will go grab a 13 millimeter socket and we'll see if we can get that off. That's a loose fit. We'll try a 12. There it is. Next is to just drop them from the hangers right over there. It should come right down and out. As you can tell, exhaust hangers are horrible. You know, I'm gonna try some Zep. It's the same thing as WD-40. So I need to put a block of wood up near the front just to kind of hold it up. All right. So this is what we're working with here. Need to get this out of here. A little bit of Zep will do it. And then this sucker's gonna fall. Sorry, I know my buddy's blocking your shot. All right, so when I was talking about why I wanted to replace this exhaust, I was talking about the tone. But there's a couple other things that I'm not very happy about. The muffler shop that did this for me, he did a good enough job. As you can see, his welds are definitely good enough. They're not pretty, but they're under the car. They don't have to be pretty. But here's things I don't like. It's not mandrel bent. At every single one of these bends, you can see where the pipe was crimped in on the bender. It's especially bad right here. Now, here's what really did it for me. He had to cannibalize my OEM flange and this piece of the OEM exhaust system, stuff it inside the 2.5 inch piping, and weld it together. Which means, performance-wise, this might as well have been OEM exhaust, with the exception of no crossover and straight through mufflers. So there's a small gain, in theory. The car's never been on a dyno, so I can't swear to you that there was a power gain or not. But it's nowhere near as good as mandrel bending and, well, things like the Ark GRiP and fast intentions. If you're going to spend money on an exhaust system, don't do what I did, because you're going to end up spending that money, being dissatisfied with it in some way, and then spending more money to change it out. So, let me get this out of the way, and we'll break open the Ark box. Alright, got the box opened up, and let's see here. We got license plate frame, very nice. Probably not going to use that. New hardware, new gaskets, very nice. Definitely will use that. We got our crossover here, mid pipes in the middle, mufflers in the back, and for good measure, ooh, shiny shinies. Probably won't use this right now, but I will eventually. All right, so we've got it all unwrapped, we've got it laid out. And as you can see, the quality on this exhaust, the welds, man, this is way, way better put together. Best part, it's 2.5 inch. Ha ha ha, no restrictions there. And you know, I like the guy that did my custom muffler shop special, but his work compared to this work, man, there is absolutely zero comparison. Like none. So, give me a second to set up. We'll get back under the car and get this going. My name is Tim. I'm addicted to mods, and I've made some mistakes in my life. And this new exhaust has convinced me to stop taking shortcuts. And I'm sorry. Just spend the money. Get the right thing the first time, and you won't be redoing the exhaust like I currently am, or the hood like what's going to be in the next video. Stay tuned. to make our life easier, we're going to just get the nuts and bolts hand tight, get the exhaust all hung, and make any adjustments once everything is pieced together and hanging. So our little buddy, Mr. Woodblock, is going to be hanging out under the car for a little bit. Alright, well, almost there. Now we just got to tighten things down. We're going to start in the front and work our way back. Now this is the time for any last minute exhaust gasket adjustments. Guess I forgot to move the camera. Just got the support bar into place. Got crud in my eye, as predicted at the beginning of this episode. But we are now moving on to the mufflers. Before we go lower in this car, we're going to start it up and make sure we don't have any exhaust leaks. All right, so obviously that sounds a lot better. Okay, so check for exhaust leaks. I don't feel any air coming off of that one, that joint, and that's what we gotta do. Just gotta put our hand around all the joints, feel for air. Don't touch it, 'cause it ain't gonna be long before it gets really hot. Especially when I just revved it like an idiot. But hey, I had to hear it. Do you blame me? We're good. We got everything good and tight. No exhaust leaks. And she sounds gorgeous. So, that's gonna do it for this video. We'll get her off these jack stands and enjoy my new sexy sounds. So I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, hit that like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it really helps me out. And if I can get this thing to stand on its own, give you a proper outro. All right, there we go. So, again, thank you for watching. Hit that like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment. Be sure to share this video. Let's grow this nation. And as always, keep it safe, keep it on the track.